But in particular, I'm going to tell you Dwayne's story, and I'm going to discuss with you a little bit about what I learned from him. Dwayne started off with a reasonably small trading account and grew that trading account into tens and tens of thousands of dollars, more than $60,000 and less than $100,000. And subsequently, in a very short amount of time, and this is a few years ago, lost a significant amount of that money. We've all done it, just becoming overconfident and feeling like he could do no wrong and whatnot. Dwayne then embarked on a journey to write a set of rules about his trading based on the mistakes that he felt that he had made. Now, I'm going to be working a lot more closely with Dwayne, and you're going to hear more from him in person, actually. I did a webinar with him, and I'll show you how to get access to that webinar in a little while here. But so Dwayne and I sat and talked about making rules. And the first thing that I want to talk about today is one of the most elementary and simple things that you could ever imagine. It's about making your rules. Today we're also going to talk about trading quickly, how to build an approved system, how to write a plan and have your trading plan written in your brain and your heart as opposed to just on a piece of paper, and how to not make time every day for trading. You read that right. And why the market is like a dog. We'll also take a look at a trading system that I have used for a long time, and I'll share with you a few details about that as well. And we'll try to get done here in the next 30 minutes or so. I don't ever talk for that long. I'm not going to just waste your time. Okay, first of all, making your rules. One of the really important things that Dwayne did, and he did it better than anybody I've ever known in my whole life as a trader, is he wrote down rules for his trading. Oh, geez, people, just turn up the volume on your computer. I do not know how to make the sound any louder. My sound is maxed out on my computer, all the way. Jeez, just turn up the volume or maybe watch the recording, because I have my volume on the microphone turned up all the way. Seriously, just put your earphones in or something. I don't know the answer to it. Okay. I love you guys. Dang, all right, here we go. Here's how Dwayne wrote his rules, and this is what fascinates me about Dwayne. The key was to make mistakes, and this is it's totally ridiculous, but the key is to make mistakes and learn from them and do it quickly. Here are some mistakes that I make as a trader that have led to rules since I've talked to Dwayne. Number one, don't take more than 2, I'm going to put 3 trades a day. Don't take more than 3 trades a day. This is a rule that I have, and this rule keeps me out of trouble. Why? Because when I take more than 3 trades a day, I've become some kind of crazy cowboy, some insane tradeaholic maniac where I can't stop myself from trading. One of the biggest mistakes that I made early on in my trading career, which has now lasted for about 14 years, is I took way too many trades. And you've done this. We've all done this. You take too many trades and then you end up with just huge losses. My friend Andy in New Orleans, I met with Andy also. He's actually on one of the traders' podcasts. And Andy took 300 trades one day. Can you imagine taking 300 trades in one day? That was Andy. I learned this from Andy as well. You set a limit on the number of trades you're going to take in a given day. This is a gargantuan rule that a lot of people don't want to set. Andy lost thousands of dollars. It was like $7,000 in one day taking 300 trades. The next day, he decided that he would no longer take a lot of trades. I think he said that he set his trades at a maximum of 5. I can't remember exactly, but you can listen to the podcast on traderspodcast.com. And he made that money back the next day on just a few trades. Now, this includes your system. That even, it doesn't matter. This idea includes not taking any more trades, even if your trading system fires off a trade. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and I have said this before. People are not robots. If it's a robot trading your system, then let it take 500 trades a day. But you're a human. I'm a human. And things begin to happen when we overtrade that are psychological in nature. We are not a robot. I hear from people all the time that says, well, then you're not going to get your positive expectancy. Listen, I don't need anybody to preach to me about positive expectancy. I've got that down. I know what that word means. I'm intimately familiar with positive expectancy. Thank you very much. I'm also intimately familiar with people are idiots. We're morons. We're complete morons when it comes to trading. And if you were a robot, then yes, you could take 500 trades a day and I would be pleased with you and I would give you a robot cookie and then you could be a happy robot. Listen, we're all bad. We're terrible. We're terrible at this. Everybody is terrible at this. Unless you're some kind of mechanical individual with no personality, which you're not. If you're a trader, you have a personality. You are not a robot, and you like to take a lot of trades, and we get ourselves into trouble when we take too many trades. It's just a fact. We would, yeah, it's so true, pan on fire. We would all be billionaires if we weren't morons. This was, I will say nothing less than a revelation that most of us don't write this rule down. We've made this mistake, but we don't write a rule down. Make mistakes and write a rule. Here's another rule. This sounds so ridiculous. Only trade with an approved system. What the hell does that mean? What this means is that you have maybe 2 to 3 approved systems that you use. And these systems have been through a rigorous testing approach, and you have an expectancy, that you have an expectation that you have a certain probability of success tied to those trades that you take with that approved system. And that you only trade that approved system. You never take a trade, for example, here's another rule. Never trade within 15 minutes of an economic number. That's another rule. Dwayne found that he did very poorly when he traded within 15 minutes of an economic number. So he stopped trading before it came out, and he didn't trade until 15 minutes after it came out. Completely. Now, he could have a trade open during that time, but he couldn't trade, he couldn't execute a new trade within that 30-minute window. It's totally brilliant. These are all based on experiences where he had made a significant mistake. He realized that it was a mistake, and then he wrote a rule about it. Keep your rules close by. In this picture of Dwayne right here, his rules are sitting actually on the table in front of him right here. And it says Dwayne's rules of trading. And those were his rules. Right here on the table in front of him. And you keep them close. Most of us don't ever write any rules down at all. We don't write anything down. Most of us don't have any written anything. And part of the problem is that we think that it has to be a really long document. There's a book about trading that recommends that you have a trading plan that's as long as a standard business plan if you were going to launch a new business. And the dirty secret is that none of the great businesses in modern American culture had a business plan, or at least the business plan was torn up.